Hello, friends and family. We're back once again with another episode of Flight Check. It's season 1, episode 22 of your favorite FlyQuest fancast. I'm Sandy Toes, one of your 3 hosts tonight, as always. And to my left and my extra left, this is my new line I'm using when I open up the show. To my left and my extra left are Nox War and Curly Double Q. Fellas, it was a long week of LCS playoffs, LEC playoffs, LPL playoffs, LCK, ending their season. We had a lot going on.
There's too much.
There is almost too much happening. It's hard to keep up. How are we feeling with everything right now? Nox War, how was your week?
League-wise, I've been crapping the bed. Curly's been having a fairly decent week, and I'm sure we'll get into that here in a little bit. But at least league-wise, like I've been struggling a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. But I mean, at the same time, there's been some good League of Legends happening, so absolutely. I'm entertained. I've been enjoying watching it, and I'm ready for more this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, just the quick recap, TL and 100 Thieves through to Worlds, through to Winners Finals. Big shout out to 100 Talk finally making it back to Worlds. At least now they'll have stuff to discuss during October, November time. That'll be nice for them. Curly, how about you? How was your week, my friend?
Oh, the only thing that would have made it better is if TSM had performed as expected. Everything else, though, phenomenal, man. Dropped an awesome video that I was very proud to lose sleep over.
Was sick.
It was phenomenal. We loved it.
Was 2 for 3 in my underdog pick'ems amongst the Flight Check crew. TSM though. Well, like I said, I'm just disappointed in them because they were my last underdog pick, and I guess it wasn't in the cards. But I'm so happy for 100 Talk and 100 Thieves, particularly because number one, it's a nice fresh face, at least in my experience, to go to Worlds.
True, because you only started paying attention last year, right?
Yeah, and then on top of that, it just. That and Immortals catapulted me. I've got 2 points on Nox, and Sandy, I checked you on the leaderboard, and I
am not doing so hot.
So hot.
I'm kind of blowing these playoff pickups, that's for sure. Yeah. Someone on the show predicted Dignitas to beat Immortals. Man. Don't know who that was.
Two of us may have actually predicted that one.
Yeah,
I don't know why you would. Why when you see Immortals popping off all but the last weekend, and then Dignitas just slowly returning to average play. Why? Why? Yeah, why do you think that they're gonna beat Immortals?
Yep, fair enough. Well, this is the FlyQuest fan podcast, Flight Check. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be going over Academy playoffs tonight, and then later in the show discussing a little bit more in-depth on LCS playoffs. Looking forward to another 4 days of best of fives this upcoming weekend. As always, we are not professionals, nor are we analysts hired by any teams whatsoever, but we are fans, and we do have opinions. And we like sharing those opinions with all of you, the Flight Check fan community. So, if you
if they're not good.
Even if they're not good, and especially when they're not good, that makes it even better. So if you are enjoying what you're hearing, smash that follow button and follow along. We'll get a sub button for you, fine folks, eventually at some point when we figure out 2-factor authentication and how to deal with that when there's 3 of us on the channel. Not a lot of fun there. And then you can always follow the show at Flight Check Crew on Twitter. You can follow all 3 of us at the handles you see below in the lovely light green on top of gold. And without further ado, let's get into it. So we're going to start with Academy playoffs. FlyQuest Academy dropping to Cloud9, a 3-2 series. Not how we expected it to go. Not quite. I feel like we had higher expectations than that. Now, Noxwar,
all three of us did say that we expected finals.
We did. I think, after the season that FlyQuest Academy had, I think that was a worthwhile expectation. Now, Noxwar, I think you and I discussed this a little bit. It was surprising again to see us pick Cloud9 Academy as our opponent. And I'm not sure it paid off. I mean, I know you've got thoughts on that, so why don't you bring it on?
Yeah, so, I mean, even before, what was it? This past podcast, right? We were talking about it, and we said, look, out of all the teams that could possibly make it up, it's most likely going to be 100 Academy and Cloud9, right? Mm-hmm. There was a chance. I said there was a chance EG could do it because EG is a solid team. And there's just no way Immortals. And that all pretty much panned out. The part where it diverges from what we expected was we picked Cloud9. And even all three of us were sitting here going, why did we pick Cloud9? That's not a good matchup for us. I know 100 Academy is supposedly the higher seeded team, I guess, in that particular instance, because I think they were third seed, whereas Cloud9 was fourth and fifth. And so, I don't know. I still, to this day, would have rather played 100 Academy. I know they're good, but I don't think we match up well with Cloud9. So we pick them, and honestly, I think we have a somewhat decent showing against them. But at the end of the day, they fundamentally, just their matchup style against us, it's better than ours. So I said in the very beginning that we were expected to win all of Academy playoffs, and if we weren't, it was going to be losing to Cloud9. I just did not predict us picking Cloud9 to play them in semis.
Yeah,
right.
So basically, I predicted everything minus us picking them in semis. That's the only thing that caught me off guard.
Yeah, kind of Doctor Strange finding the one scenario, right, in the 14 million, but then we actually executed the scenario, much to our chagrin. Curly coming to you. Man, I feel like this is how would you categorize this, dropping out in semis? Would you call it a disappointment? How are you seeing it? As a fan, I suppose.
As a fan, I do see it as disappointing, not necessarily as, oh, come on, guys. It's I expected, because I had high hopes, and I really believed that we could go all the way with playoffs, so we could, just get better seeding, improving grounds, and all that stuff, and so we could truly secure the Academy trophy, if that actually exists. But
I wonder if there is one. I don't know.
Right? There should be.
There should be
an
Academy trophy.
A trophy? Usually there is one. I think it's a smaller version of the normal LCS trophy.
Oh,
nice.
How nice is that? How cute.
That's wholesome. Anyway, but as much as I'm disappointed that we didn't win, I'm for the most part pretty proud of what we brought to the table for 4 out of the 5 games.
Okay.
Game 5
okay, I was about to ask, which game was it? Yeah.
Game 5 was underwhelming to me, and I did not see the same things I had seen before. And I don't know. I think for that, it's just the fatigue had gotten to us there, and that's rather unfortunate. But we also let them get 3 chunky enemies again. And that's what lost us game 3, I believe, is having 3 chunky enemies. Actually, it was almost, because it was the Nard Trundle with the Alistar, and then the first one, it was the Nautilus. So, that's just so much, man.
Yeah, that is a lot. And, what's super interesting is that we went red side 4 out of 5 games in this series. And I mean, it was a back and forth series, but we really liked that red side. I mean, the bans were fairly consistent throughout. I mean, you had Viego, Irelia banned, first bans from each team in every single game. Lee Sin banned all 5 games. Varus banned most of the games. It's only it was banned every game after we picked it in game 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, some interesting team comps here. I mean, let's get into that a little bit. So just starting with game 1, Nox, we went with the Renekton, Diana, TF, Varus, Rel, and that went into the Lucian top, Xin Zhao, Ryze, Ziggs, and Leona. So just looking at this, we've got an interesting matchup in mid lane where you've got the global with TF versus the semi-global of Ryze. Ryze has kind of, this is a pun intended, been rising in popularity, I feel like. Recently in pro play, we've been seeing it more and more with a heavy
It's been
priority.
popping up a little more and more.
Yeah, it's been popping up a little bit more. The Diana, not so much recently on this patch. It feels like has kind of fallen out of favor, but we let the Xin Zhao go through, and this Ziggs, which has been super popular in the bot lane. So, I mean, just looking at this team comp, is this something that you would, and we do lose on this team comp as it is, but is this something that you see us being comfortable with as a style, a draft that we would have wanted for like a game 1 draft?
I mean, it kind of fits our normal standard of what we want to play, right? I mean, you have triple on the TF, which is great for like map movement and map plays, right? And then you have Johnson on the lethality poke Varus, which is great for controlling zone, like having zones of control on certain sections of the map whenever you're going for objectives, which is also very FlyQuest-esque. And then you have the combo of NXI and Philip on 2 divers of Diana and Renekton, so they can get in there, along with the Rel, which can combo with it as well. So part of it, like, you can kind of have like a philosophy debate on this, on how you want to play it. Like, you've got 3 divers, and then you've got 2 kind of like backline pokers who don't really have any appeal for themselves. Like, who's going to appeal for Triple and Johnson? Because you have a Xin Zhao and a Leona who are diving onto him, right? So it kind of really just comes down to playstyle meshing, in which case I would say if you look in the lane specifically, I think Ryze beats TF pretty handily in lane. And then obviously Lucian into Renekton's a pretty big, hefty lane favorite towards Lucian, right?
Yeah.
And so you got 2 winning solo lanes right there, and then you've got a pretty even, I want to say, bot lane that should be pretty even, but that's also not a lane that you're really going to have resources being sent towards. So basically, you're having junglers have to focus on both solo lanes, and both solo lanes have winning lane matchups, which just doesn't bode well for Fly, because we're not really ever known for being, like, we can have good lane phases, at least in the academy level, but we're not known for good laning phase. We're great for mid to late game macro movements, right?
Right.
So this team comp tells me, hey, this is what we're going for, and Cloud9 goes, haha, no, you're not getting to that stage. And sure, I mean, granted, we drug it out 40 minutes, but that's just because we understand how to play the mid to late game. If this was any other team, like, it's just not good. So I think everything comes down to us wanting to play how we want to play. It's exactly our style. Yeah. I think Cloud9 just realized, no, there's no way. We got to shut it down early. And they did, and we tried to hold on. We tried to climb it back, and we just couldn't.
Yeah. Curly, for the first 3 games of the series, we put Philip on the Renekton, and he went up against 3 different picks. First the Lucian, then the Fiora, then the Gnar. Yep. It's interesting to see him on the Renekton, and I want to get your thoughts on this. Do you feel like he was put on this Renekton because it's a bit of a safe pick? I mean, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting, putting such a heavy priority on it for such a young player.
Well, I don't know. That could probably be it. It's just And at least in game 1, I think that might have been it, because that was in our first round of picks.
Yeah, it was.
But the next 2 games, we didn't pick that until the 4th round, or like that wasn't until our 4th pick.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think for those ones, we were just waiting to figure out like maybe where they were bringing, what they were giving Darshan, and it just never came out. So we had to put the Renekton on for safe. So I think you might be right there. But I don't... By the 3rd game, I don't think we should have put him on Renekton regardless. The first game, I can understand that. The second game clearly worked out well. He was actually really, really good in some of the plays in the second game on that Renekton.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like, by the 3rd game, if you want to go for someone who like can be chunky or you have some sustain, I might have busted out maybe someone like Aatrox.
Mm.
Or I would have loved to have seen a set, if I'm being honest. Like, maybe that's just because he's one of my mains, but I also think, like, Philip on set, I think it'd be pretty cool, because then if you look at, in Game 3, let's look at what Cloud9 had. They had, actually, set would have been beautiful in Game 3. Pick up Nautilus or Trundle, and you instantly delete Syndra and Aphelios. Instantly.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. And then you bring your Haymaker, and it's just more true damage, you know? So, I don't know. I was disappointed in the Renekton 3rd pick for sure, but
yeah,
he still played well. And another thing, actually, on the topic of Philip, but taken away from draft, I think the big thing here is something you could see in every match, is the difference in 9 years of experience versus just breaking into the scene. And so Philip was always in an uphill battle. And he did his damnedest, and I'm proud of him for what he was able to do.
He had a good show in this series.
Yeah. He never started ahead, and that's because, like, for the first 4 games, Surenfire would just make his way up to the top lane so much to get that first blood. And in the 5th match, they were like, you know what, let's stop bullying Philip. Let's hurt Triple this time, you know? And that's, like, a big thing.
Yeah, and this was something that we had discussed, I believe, last week even, that, you know, Philip was going into a very difficult matchup in the top lane here. I mean, Darshan is no slouch. You know, I'm pretty sure Darshan could command an LCS starting spot if he really, really wanted to go for one, even still. And yeah, I mean, it was not going to be an easy time up there in the top lane by any means for Philip, and I felt like he did a fairly good job into some unorthodox matchups. I mean, Lucian top into the Renekton, and then the Fiora getting busted out in Game 2. I mean, these are not typical matchups that we're seeing in the top lane right now across, you know, both LCS, Academy, you know, all over the pro scene. So, yeah, I am particularly proud of Philip's play, and, you know, his, not like, I wasn't worried about him tilting, but I feel like there could be a concern with a younger player being in a weird, you know, game situation and just kind of like losing the mental edge a little bit. Nox, I mean, thoughts on, you know, other aspects of the draft? Was anything else really standing out to you throughout the series, things that we prioritized, other stuff like that?
You can see that we really, like, we do well when we actually give bot lane priority. Like, Game 2, we get the Aphelios Thresh, and we have a very, very good pop-off performance. Granted, we coupled that with the Olaf, which really helped send resources down bot and get them going, which was great. You can see that we kind of attempted the same thing again in Game 3 with the Jinx and Thresh. I'm personally not that hot on Jinx. I don't know about you guys, but even then, Cloud9 decided, hey, we're just going to go bully the crap out of Philip up top lane, and there really wasn't much that could be done.
Right.
But even then you go look at Game 4, and you got a Tristana Leona bot lane, which, I mean, that's a very aggressive bot lane, right?
Oh, yeah.
Very good early game. Falls off a little bit in the mid game, but then, like, roars back to life in the late game. So, I mean, it just goes to show that whenever this bot lane has good priority picks, the games look pretty solid for us, right? And then you go look at Game 5, and we got a Ziggs Leona, which, don't get me wrong, Ziggs Leona has its place, but it's not something that's ever going to be aggressive in the bot lane, and it's not ever going to be something that really truly carries your team. It's not going to give you agency to make wins and bites and objectives and so on and so forth.
Right.
It's great at like making sure you're sustained and stable, but it's not everything that's going to like force the other team's hand. So I think really coming into Proving Grounds draft-wise, I want to continue to see bot lane get a lot more priority.
And I agree with that because when we were winning the games, something I noticed is Johnson was very present, and Dreams was doing so much for team fights and starting them off well, or even just like picking off a C9 member being in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was like usually there.
Yeah, I firmly agree. And I think that helps us segue a little bit into something I want to talk about, which is kind of where does this lineup go from here? So, I mean, we know now that this is the roster that we'll be seeing in Proving Grounds, right? These 5 players. So, for my part, you've got, 2 players in the bot lane who have more LCS experience than the other 3 combined, or more LCS/LEC, you could even say, with Dreams, than the other 3 combined. And I feel like that lends itself towards wanting to play through that bot lane, play through that experience, in my mind. You've also got Triple, who has proven himself as a more than capable leader of the team, able to put on carry performances when necessary. So, in my mind, I'm starting to think that we just kind of allow ourselves to play weak side top and looking to play through mid and bot lane. Nox, I mean, do you have any thoughts on that as a suggestion for where we could go? Do you disagree? Am I completely talking out of my ass on that one? I mean...
So, clarify the question one more time.
All right, so...
Just so I have my thought process.
So we've got...
Just real quick.
So we've got Johnson and Dreams and Triple, experienced good players we know. Philip and NXI, newer players. Do we just kind of put Philip on weak side champs and just play through mid and bot through Proving Grounds?
No.
Okay.
Because at that point, like we become too targetable, right?
Okay, sure.
And the other thing is, like, this is Academy, this is Proving Grounds. Don't get me wrong, I want to win. I want to push. I want to push these guys to get as far as they can possible. But at the same time, take some risks. At the end of the day, I mean, this isn't the highest level of competition, and these guys are here to learn. They're here to get experience, and you don't do that without taking risks. So do what you can to prioritize winning, but don't do it at the sake of sacrificing learning from the other players.
Right.
So I want to give Philip and NXI time to thrive, and Triple as well, with their own carry performances, and put them on champions that have their own agency. But at the same time, you do need to prioritize that the bot lane for this team right now is looking like the strongest part of it. So if push comes to shove and we need to have a clutch moment, give the bot lane priority, get them on some champions that are going to have agency in the bot lane, are going to drive this FlyQuest team to victory.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, even Game 4, which was a win, we put Philip on the Jace. He has a very respectable 1-4-10. NXI on the Xin Zhao 4-1-8. I liked Johnson on the Tristana. I really like that champ right now. I think it's very, very good. I mean, we saw what Danny did on Tristana this past weekend. This champ is really, really good right now. I'd like to see us continue to prioritize it. And you can actually see, even in that game, you had a Tristana versus Ziggs matchup. And, oftentimes I think these champs get compared as doing similar things, just knocking down turrets. I would argue Tristana is the better version of that in terms of the battle between demolitionist Yordles. Tristana, I think, is the superior champion right now. So I would like to see more Trist Prio putting Philip on these champs. I liked seeing him on the Jace. The Wukong was a little rough, did not get to do as much as I was hoping it would, sadly. But I liked seeing that kind of adventurous pick for Philip. I think that was a good sign for him.
What if we bust out Yone?
Hey, I mean,
we have a player on the team who's known for playing as Yone.
Absolutely.
In which case, it's not triple, but there may be another mid lane, little fox, if you might.
But we're going with triple for.
Yeah. So
no. I mean, like he has a great coach.
Okay, he's got a good coach. Okay, okay.
Yeah. So Nox, I hear what you say about, wanting to be flexible with everything. Now, I will note, in the games that we did win, a lot of the damage and carry did come from the mid lane and AD carry position. You had in game 2 the Azir and the Aphelios, both that kind of like come online late game, deal a crap ton of damage, and then you had the TF and Tristana. TF setting up a lot of good plays with the global ulti, getting to move around a lot, and then Tristana just the late game hyper scaling, blow up turrets, blow up people, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like in the games that we won, that was where we shined, was in the mid and bot lane. But I do hear and agree with you that we don't want to become too one-dimensional in our play style, and then everyone knows, oh yeah, these guys just play through mid and bot, and then focus that down and wipe the floor with us. So that would be truly unfortunate.
Yes.
Yeah. Other thoughts on this best of 5? In terms of playoffs, it's going to be Cloud9 Academy versus TL Academy in the finals. It was another 3-2 for TLA over 100A in the other semifinal match. And then just looking at how Proving Grounds qualifiers are going right now, I'm not up to date on tonight's results, but qualified already for Proving Grounds, we have TSM Academy and Dig Academy, along with the amateur orgs, Zeus Gaming, our favorite toilet paper cats, and
you love some toilet paper cats,
and Resolve North America. Right now, I know there's matchups between Maryville and Supernova, and also Golden Guardians Academy versus Dig Mirage. Winners of those best of 3s will qualify for the final 2 Proving Grounds spots. So, question for you both then is, now that this semifinal is out of the way and we've seen this L taken by the team, does this adjust our expectations? Now, I'll remind you, previously we said, again, Proving Grounds should be aiming for that top 2. Are we retreating on that in any way?
No.
Okay. All right. Curly's out here with the no.
Yeah.
I'm steadfast in my expectations because we now have, I believe it's 2 weeks, or I guess it would be 3 weeks total.
Yeah.
We have some time to sit and just practice, get Philip more experience, get him more prepared, get him more scrims, because I'm not saying Philip is a weak link. I don't consider him a weak link, but he is fresh meat in the eyes of the LCS Academy, and so he needs to be cooked a little bit.
Baked in the oven, one might say.
Well, it depends on what, like, if you're viewing him as, like, if he's a steak, we want to grill it 400 degrees, flip twice, solid grill marks. Anyway.
Internal. Make sure the internal temperature is up to snuff. Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
You want a nice medium rare.
Yeah. Medium rare. Yeah. No,
salt and pepper.
Medium rare.
Yeah, no well dones on this Academy team.
No, but yeah, so I think, because honestly, I think that's like one of the only things that was hurting us is he was being bullied a lot, and I think if he gets the chance to flourish, the whole team can do just the same.
Yeah. Knox, do you concur on this one or feeling otherwise?
I completely agree. I think expectations still should be top 2. Granted, I'm a little more hesitant when I say that now, but I do stand by it though. Yeah. I do think expectations should be top 2. A lot of it really is just, it's going to come down to seeding a little bit, in which case we have 3rd seed, which is pretty solid. Which granted we don't know the playoff bracket because it's not filled out yet, but if anything, that probably means we're going to start running into like really heavy hitting teams probably around the round 3, round 4. And I'm expecting that to be something like a 100 Academy or possibly a why am I blanking right now?
A TL Academy, maybe.
EG Academy, something like that.
For sure.
In which case, I think I'm confident enough in saying that we can make it past those. And I'm pretty sure Proving Grounds is double elimination, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm not too worried. Like, if we take an L, like, I know the guys can bounce back, and we can work our way back up to that losers bracket final and make it into the grand finals. Mm-hmm. I don't think it should happen, but if it happens, I'm not worried about it overall. Right. At the end of the day, I'm a little more cautious when I say it now. Like, I was very brazen when I said it last week, but I stand by the fact that I think we should be in finals of Proving Grounds.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think that is something we absolutely need to be aiming for, and if it's anything less, I think, than a top 6, that's a failure. So
yeah, for sure,
absolutely need to be going for that.
You make top 4, I'll be upset, but I'll be content. You make top 6, I'll be going, guys, really?
Right.
And then anything else in that, I'm going to be like, what the hell happened?
We're going to make top 2 because
easy.
Yeah, we're gonna. Because we're the best around.
Easy clap. All right.
Well, easy win over EG.
Ooh.
That's what it's going to be.
Alrighty. All right. Well, not only are Academy playoffs heading to finals, not only are Proving Grounds qualifiers wrapping up, but FlyQuest has announced another new quest, Sunset Quest. And you know what that means? It's time for a little merch review on stream right now. I'm going to pull up the video, or the merch itself.
We're going to pull up the fact that I don't got money right now and I can't buy nice things.
Yeah, unfortunately. All right. So it's on stream right now.
Look at that beautiful stuff.
Window. Look at all this gorgeous stuff. So let's just go. Let me pull this up.
For our audio-only listeners,
yes,
you're missing out.
Yeah,
sorry.
You're missing out.
You can, for our audio-only listeners, this portion you might want to skip ahead maybe 5 or 10 minutes or so. But you could also go to shop.flyquest.gg to check out all this great merch that we're looking at. This is not a hashtag ad. We just think this stuff is pretty fly, if we do say so ourselves.
We're not paid for this, but it is an ad.
Yeah, we're not paid for this, but it is an ad. All right, starting with the jersey. Starting with the jersey, the most important thing. Holy moly! Look at this gorgeous piece of art. We've got the orange sun. We've got the birds flying over it. We've got the palm trees and the beach, the ocean waves. This is reminiscent, really, for me, of the summer playoff jersey last year, just with like a little bit of a Miami Vice kick to it. I was also thinking. Then you got the back going on, a little bit more palm tree and waves going on. I love the purple. is super good. You can also
the gradient is just so satisfying.
It's a very satisfying gradient. I think this jersey is super hot. I wish we could have seen it in the LCS playoffs. Alas,
oh my god, it would have been spicy.
Dude, that neon purple for triple.
Yeah,
like, obviously anyone's summoner name, right? But like just that neon purple looks so good.
The neon purple looks really, really good.
Excellent.
All right, the playoff player edition jacket. Now I have the basics player edition jacket, which is super hot. But this is incredible, and man, it just looks so good. It's pretty much just this gorgeous purple gradient all the way through. You've got that.
And then I like it. If you zoom in, if you click on it, look at the sleeve, the FlyQuest writing on the sleeve.
I mean, look at
how
that.
It's got kind of the sunset gradient itself within it.
Yep, you've got dark orange all the way up to like a yellow almost over there. Yeah, that's
so nice.
Pretty fire going on. They are full zips. You've got some nice pockets going on.
And that material looks so crisp.
Yep, 100% polyester. We got some shorts if you like shorts for both men's and women's.
I've never thought about buying the shorts before looking at these, if I'm being honest.
Now here's the part that I am particularly hyped about. Look at these hat options. You all already know I'm a big fan of the FlyQuest dad hats. This purple is actually nutty. It's so good. You've got a pretty basic black as well. You've got a navy going on, but oh my gosh, this purple. It's so good.
If you go to the purple, I'm getting serious Lakers vibes.
It is. It's it's very much. This purple is so freaking good.
Since they're like based out of LA, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
That and every other LCS team.
And you've got a nice some basic t-shirts here. You've got some tank tops going on. So
honestly, I might get those basic tees because I've just for my stream outfits, I think that'd be pretty good. Just having a nice little simple.
It'd be a good look. I'm definitely gonna pick up dad hat and the jersey for sure. Hey, if FlyQuest wants to send me the jacket, I would not complain about that one either.
I'm probably sometime down the line gonna get that jersey because that jersey is too good.
I think this jersey is a can't miss item.
Yeah,
it's
especially the V-neck. That's another thing I wanted to hone in on. The V-neck. All the other playoff or not playoff jerseys, FlyQuest jerseys are crew neck. So having the V-neck just adds a little bit of class.
It is a good look all around. All right.
I'm not gonna lie though. I think Fly missed out on an opportunity to have swim trunks in this gradient color.
Honestly, someone tell Fiend to make swim trunks.
That would have been great.
That are literally just the shorts, but
could you imagine the shorts or hell do a bikini top for this?
Yo,
for the girls, I think it'd be sick.
Or those Demon Slayer themed body covers.
Yes, totally.
Yeah. Actually, that'd be perfect.
That'd be pretty dope. Well, as always, FlyQuest is also donating money, this time, again, to the American Solar Energy Society, so it is $2 per kill. This is for all Academy games and Proving Grounds games. So, $2 per kill for any FlyQuest player in Academy and Proving Grounds, $20 per Ocean Drake by any team in an Academy game or Proving Grounds game, which is crazy. And then $200 per win from FlyQuest Academy teams. So we're already up to at least $400. I'd be willing to bet we're probably close to $500 already. So doing good work, all of that money going to the American Solar Energy Society. FlyQuest, once again, absolutely crushing it with Sunset Quest. Oh, and not to mention, if they win Academy playoffs, which is not happening, they were going to add another $2,500. But if they win Proving Grounds, they will donate another $2,500 to ASES. Incredible generosity from them, which is super exciting. But you know what's also super exciting? The fact that North America has qualified 2 very hype teams, shall I say, to the World Championship already this past weekend, starting with 100 Thieves looking rejuvenated and refreshed in their 3-2 battle over Evil Geniuses, and a, may I say, dominant Team Liquid getting the 3-1 victory over TSM. Let's just recap these series real quick. Curly, starting with you. I mean, how do you feel having TL and 100 Thieves as your first 2 representatives to Worlds?
This is going to sound so flamey, and it has nothing to do with the players and everything to do with the org I'm about to name. I just hope that we keep C9 out of that like we have. But no, it makes me very happy to have these teams. Team Liquid is really getting Santorin back. Oh my god, they look like beasts.
It's true.
They look monstrous.
They look so good.
And it makes me so happy for Santorin, especially like he's sat the summer split out with health problems and like came back and was like, hey, let me just stomp some noobs, you know? And then for 100 Thieves, it makes me happy for them, as I said earlier, because it's nice to see someone relatively fresher rather than like the traditional orgs make it. And then something I also think that'll be pretty spicy is getting Abadaga to be able to face off against some of his former LEC opponents again. Like he gets to potentially mid lane against Humanoid again, and
Larson.
Yep. And I pray he gets to go off against Niski.
You have a long journey on that one, my friend.
Oh boy, dude. Oh boy, but this is the FlyQuest podcast. My friend runs the Fnatic.
Not Curly's EU corner yet.
Yeah, don't worry. The LEC corner will hop in there real fast later.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's nice. It's nice. And also, as I said earlier, sitting at the top of Pick'ems for us 3.
Yeah.
For us 3. Although, to be fair, what do you have? Like 7 points? You're only like 2 points behind. Yeah, you're only 2 points behind the lead. Yeah,
I'm in 3 parentheses ninths.
Hey,
you know?
That is pretty good. Nox, some great games this weekend. Some really hype series, honestly. Playoff matchups that I was more hyped to watch than some, playoffs in recent memory. Because they just, for me, the main reason was that they did not feel like foregone conclusions. I had absolutely no idea. I had made predictions, but I really had no clue who was going to win these series in the end. Did you feel
minus Cloud9 versus Golden Guardians?
Minus Cloud9 versus Golden Guardians. That one was pretty much
easiest 3-0 prediction, 2 points of my life.
Yeah, I am so bad at pick'ems. I literally called it a 3-1 for Cloud9 instead of a 3-0.
I did too, and I'm a little. I should have believed.
I should have believed in the 3-0, but I was just like, look, Golden Guardians is good. Cloud9 will mess something up, right?
Guess not.
Guess not. All right, so looking ahead to next week, first of all, a big rest in peace to Dignitas and Golden Guardians. We'll see you guys next season. Hope you guys have a good off season, but not as good as FlyQuest's. Hope FlyQuest is better than yours. Moving on, TL versus 100 Thieves, Cloud9 versus Evil Geniuses, and TSM versus Immortals. Let's start with that one first. Some quick thoughts there. I feel like this is probably very TSM favored. But are there any naysayers amongst us tonight?
Nah, it's TSM favored. Go next.
I mean, I would venture to say TSM 3-0 on this one. So
It
For
is
once-
TSM favored. It's 3-1 though. It's
Okay.
3-1.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go with Curly on this one. I think it's a 3-1. Immortals has looked better, right? And they 3-0 Dignitas in a relatively clean fashion. I think this team can take a game off TSM.
For sure.
Especially if TSM has like a moment where they're just not quite thinking right and they do like a dumb draft putting like PoE on something that's not like a control mage. So
I would also like to add, and I looked at this because I was definitely not doing my pick'em submission during the podcast.
It's not like I wasn't posting it during this podcast either, so you're fine, Curly.
Yeah.
I
But
gotta come up with something
TSM
else to do while you guys, I gotta have something to do
Right.
while doing the podcast now.
Order dad hats. But
Yeah.
anyway, TSM went 5-0 against Immortals this year. And they also went 5-0 against TL, which is why I was surprised that they lost. But anyway. They're 5-0 against Immortals this year.
Yeah.
That's just enough reason for me to believe that TSM is going to win this.
Kyoto comes up with some incredible prep during the week. This should be a easy TSM dub. Now for the first of two very tough matchups to predict. Cloud9 versus Evil Geniuses.
EG.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to also go with EG on this one. I'm sorry to Cloud9 fans out there. Just not good enough right now. EG, to me, is the superior team. And we'll likely... We also have to predict this, too, because if we're saying TSM and we're saying EG, then we have to say TSM versus EG, who wins that? Because that matchup will be Sunday, and that will decide our third participant at Worlds. And TSM EG, I will also say EG on that one as well.
I'm inclined to agree with you there.
So that is my...
We did give Nox to say. Nox, you don't get to talk.
Yeah, Nox, how are you feeling?
It's actually... I don't mind you guys talking because I'm actually still debating this one.
Technically, you don't have to do your pick'ems until Friday afternoon, 5:25 in the afternoon. So,
yeah, no, exactly. But like, I mean, because I do want to get my thoughts on the podcast. Obviously,
Sure.
I'm trying to think because this Cloud9 team lost to Team Liquid, who is surging right now, right? It just looks absolutely unstoppable. Dropping games only whenever it seems like they're kind of making a little dumb draft mistake here and there, right? I think like the TL one, they let Thresh through, and that was it. And then the EG one, I think it was, or sorry, not the EG, sorry, TSM one, I think it was just, they also kind of had a dumb draft, like they just kind of had dumb draft moments, right? So then Cloud9 drops down, they play against Golden Guardians, and they look mean, right? Like there's just, it does not look good. And then you have EG, who's over here playing against 100 Thieves, and it's like a slugfest back and forth. EG looks good, don't get me wrong, but it's a slugfest. It's not necessarily clean. So I'm not sold on the EG train yet. Do I want them to go? I mean, yeah, I'm going to show my biases here. I'm not a fan of the Cloud9 organization. I want EG to go. They deserve it. I think they have a better chance of performing better at international competition due to the style of play that they have.
Agreed.
But I'm not sold on the series yet. And so that's kind of my thought process right now. I'm going to hold off from giving my whatever you want to call it, my vote, because I'm just not sure yet. I'm still thinking.
What I will tell you this though, you can't expect clean EG. That just doesn't exist. It's just a fact.
You cannot. That's true. It's a matter of, I think Cloud9 ran into a very hot TL.
Yes.
And they're still a decent team. So that's where my hesitance comes from.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if this one goes all 5 games, and ends in.
I think that's what I predicted.
Yeah. I think it'll go 5 games easily. And while I'm inclined to say EG, it could very easily be C9. I need to do a little... I'm not going to submit my picks until, Friday afternoon. But we all know I'm so bad at them that whatever I pick will not happen. So just look at what I say and then be like, okay, yep, that will
do the opposite.
Do the opposite, and you will nail your pick'ems guaranteed.
No, because if you do, well, so when you say do the opposite, does it mean same score, different team, same team,
same
opposite score? What do you do if you do 3-1? Like, come on, how do you do the opposite of Sandy here?
Follow your heart. Trust in the heart of the cards, as they say.
This is now a shonen.
Yeah. Trust in the heart of the cards, believe in the power of friendship. Knox, one last thing there. So if it's, I want to get your opinion. You agree that it'll be TSM in losers finals.
Yes.
If they play EG, who goes through? If they play C9, who goes through?
If TSM plays EG, EG goes through. If TSM plays Cloud9, I think TSM goes through. So I think really TSM wants Cloud9 to win this series.
And that is why I am rooting for Evil Geniuses this weekend. So
yeah, I agree. I agree with that prediction, Knox. If
anything,
it's TSM C9, TSM wins.
Anything but TSM at Worlds again, please.
But also, if it's TSM, like I think the only thing I would kind of like if TSM made it through is because then if they somehow beat 100 Thieves, they then would take on TL at final, so it would be Santorin versus PoE. Who's the better fly alum?
SMG Foodar in the chat saying, I honestly want some form of justice that you spend all that money and can't get out of your own region. I kind of have to agree on that one.
That's fair.
For sure.
I kind of, yeah, I'm with you, brother. It's just like, the way to win is not by paying $6 or $10 million to any single player.
That's true.
There are many better ways. All right, the final matchup of this weekend to see who goes straight to grand finals. Team Liquid 100 Thieves. Now, I know we probably have some 100 Thieves fans watching the show or listening right now. So let's tread carefully, gentlemen.
I already bet against them last week, so...
Yeah, same. And they
time to double down!
Yeah, I'm doubling down. TL looks so good. They look so good. They look on point. This is the Team Liquid that we saw in the lock-in tournament at the beginning of the season. Remember that? Just absolutely dominating all the way through. This was the Team Liquid that, in my opinion, in spring, if they had had Santorin for playoffs, they probably would have won finals. And I feel like they are at full power. They are marching strong. Cold's preparation is absolutely out of this world. I fully am on the TL3-1 train for this series. How about you two?
I think... Go for it, Curly.
You, Knox.
I think... Yeah, I'm going to go TL3-1 on this one. I'm really... Don't get me wrong. I think TL's going to hit a wall on this one. I think coming into the playoffs, though, they had a match against C9 where C9 just did... C9 looked okay, but it was just like, as long as TL was like, got a nice steady pace going, it was just like, okay, we're climbing, and we're over that hump, right? Took a little bit of effort, wasn't too bad. And then they come into the TSM series, right? And it's just kind of the same thing, honestly. TSM's putting up a fight, but it's just as long as they're trucking, get over the hump, and okay, that series is done.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get to this 100 Thieves series, though, and it's going to be a different ballgame. I think 100 Thieves is going to put up a wall, and they're going to have to really, really think outside the box. Because I don't think this 100 Thieves team is anywhere near as predictable as TSM is, or as Cloud9 was, right?
Yeah.
Because Cloud9 apparently got read by like a book for TL.
Yeah.
So I think this one's it's gonna take a little more effort, but I think TL's still probably to come out on top.
For sure. Curly, feeling similarly?
This week I will not be dissenting in the 100 Thieves pick. I want to say that they would be able to win this, but TL, man, fuck. They're just a monster. And I just...
Uh-oh. Do we lose Curly there? Uh-oh.
Don't...
His internet's gone again.
No, there he is.
Oh, wait,
Okay.
back.
I'm
Okay,
here.
okay.
I'm here. But this is why Sandy's hosting tonight. I... Unless they summon the power of the first weekend they got Abadaga,
Yeah.
it's not going to be in their favor. So it's a TL 3-1 from me. Unless I
Alright.
said 3-2 in... I think it was 3-1. I already did my pick'ems.
Well, we are...
You want me to go look real quick, Curly?
Yeah, clarify that for me, please. Make sure I'm
Okay,
not...
hold on.
Well, as it
Curly,
stands-
you predicted Evil Geniuses winning 3-2 over Cloud9, TSM 3-1 over Immortals, and Team Liquid 3-2 over 100 Thieves.
Oh.
Okay, so I said 3-2. It's going to be some silver scrapes, boys.
So, quick question. I guess we'll do this question live. Since we don't know the final matchup for Sunday, are we just not predicting that one at all?
Well, I think we already did our soft predictions for that.
Yeah, I did my soft prediction. TSM, and then I said, I think... Well, I guess I don't know yet.
I meant in the
yeah, never mind.
In the FlyQuest pick'ems.
No, not that's coming up Saturday.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, what I announced on the thing was basically I will be releasing another Google form Saturday night after that last series.
Cool.
Drek is going to yell at you once an hour so you don't forget.
Yeah, you're not allowed to
Yes, sir.
go on any trips or go out on a date Saturday night or do anything. Your sole goal is completely to just release this Google form and help us all do our pick'ems.
Another thing you're
You're
doing
under
now.
house arrest, so.
Well, it's nice actually because the girlfriend's at a party and I'm just chilling by myself that night. So literally, we're good.
Perfect.
Speaking of things that Noxwar is in charge of, how's that TFT tournament? Come on.
I was actually going to shout it out at the end of the stream, but I guess I can do it now. In case any of you guys were not aware, I am hosting a TFT tournament this Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern. It is a 16-person tournament. Top 3 will get RP prizes. It is guaranteed 3 matches. Maximum 7, but I don't think that'll happen. Most likely 6. So come play, come hang out. It'll be mainly FlyQuest guys. I got 100 TalkPod people in there too. I reached out to a bunch of other LCS Discords, and most of them, told me, hey, stop self-promoting in here. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Just trying to get LCS communities together, but whatever. I'm going, for people asking in chat right now, I will be linking, if you scroll way up in the hashtag TFT FlyQuest one, I have a link in there, or if you go check in our Discord under the TFT Tournament tab, the link and everything is in there, and you can fill that out, and then that'll give me all the information that I need. I will be reposting all that stuff in the FlyQuest Discord later this week, as well as I'll be reminding everyone in our Discord later this week as well.
Lovely. Well, that'll be a great time. And hey, top 3 get RP prizes. That's not something you want to miss out on, folks.
No.
It's kind of awkward because last time it was top 8, but I don't have Cole and Jordan sponsoring this one, so...
Yeah, fair
enough.
enough.
That Cole Jordan sponsored the last one.
Yeah, wow. Good for them. Very cool. Well, I believe that should wrap up.
You're not in here. You got your own stream. What are you doing here on the Top Pod?
Yikes.
Oh, boy. Woo!
Oh, no.
100 Talk has been silent in the chat all evening and then comes in right at the crucial moment to try to roast Nox about not talking to him about sponsoring.
Well, yeah, hey, if y'all want to collab again, I'm hosting a tournament this Saturday, and we can talk later if you want, Cole.
Incredible.
One of these days, Noxwar, one of us is just going to flame them off so much that they're going to challenge us.
Well,
you're going to have to brush off your Thresh, man.
Well,
and,
while
Cole need some lanterns as I dive onto Jordan.
It's true.
On the Rift.
While Cole is in the chat, I do want to issue a congratulations to him and the 100 Thieves fans. Finally qualifying to Worlds once again, first time since 2018. They actually will have something to talk about come October, November time, and they will not have to bluff around for things to talk about like we will. We'll just be pretending to, have opinions on Worlds teams that we really don't understand most of those international regions.
We got our number one favorite team for Academy Worlds. That's more important.
That's way more important. 100%. All right, final quick segment. Curly's LEC corner. We gotta hit it.
We gotta hit it.
We gotta hit it. Some wild stuff going on in LEC. I watched most of those matchups.
Oh yeah, man!
Holy moly! Rogue and Mad Lions in winners finals. Fnatic barely squeezing out a dub over Vitality.
Oh, yeah.
Now having to go up against Misfits, and then if they win that, the fabled G2 Fnatic matchup for the final EU World spot. The narrative just writes itself. Curly, 2 questions for you. A.
Sure thing.
Can Fnatic defeat Misfits? And B, if they do beat Misfits, can they beat G2 and secure Worlds?
Oh, they can definitely beat G2. It's oddly enough, I'm more concerned about Misfits here.
That's fair.
Like, if they beat Misfits, they're making
I side with Curly on this. I would be more scared of Misfits.
Yeah.
Straight up. Because Misfits, number one, just decided to, like, be a team this split out of nowhere. Like, they were kind of a meme in spring, but then they were like, all right, come on, guys. Let's pick it up in the summer. And Fnatic started falling back into the old ways in the last weekend of the split. So that was like a minor concern there. But we beat Vitality. So really the only thing is we gotta get over Misfits.
Yeah.
And then we can beat G2 and make our way to Worlds again. Because if we beat G2, then we can beat Rogue, and then we face off against Mad Lions in the finals.
Absolutely. Well, you heard it here first. It's going to be an easy 3-0 for Fnatic over Misfits, and then another 3-0 over G2. I mean,
no, it's going to be a 3-2 to Misfits. It's going to be like Vitality.
Okay.
But it's going to be 3-1 to G2.
Lovely. Well, I believe in the Fnatic power of the upset wife buff. We believe
a wife buff.
He's got the wife buff. It worked for Doinby. Surely it can work for upset as well. Alrighty. Well, that is about it for us here on Flight Check Season 1, Episode 22. Thank you all so much for tuning in once again, as you do every week. We greatly appreciate it. We appreciate the time spent with us, talking in the chat, roasting all 3 of us at various intervals, and just generally having a good time. If you want to hang out with us a little bit more, you can join our Discord, which has been linked multiple times in the chat this evening. Do so if you are interested in joining up for Noxwar's TFT Tournament. That is going to be a fantastic time. You can follow the show, as I said, at Flight Check Crew on Twitter. You can follow all 3 of us, myself at SantosDB, Noxwar at NoxwarWarr, and Curly at Curly_QQ_. If you missed this show and you're catching us at the tail end, we do this every Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on twitch.tv/FlightCheckCrew. And this video will be up on our YouTube channel, so you can watch the VOD there. If you want the audio-only version, you can get that probably tomorrow morning at Spotify, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Anchor.fm, Apple Podcasts, any of those audio-only platforms that you wish. We are so thankful to have you guys be listening to us all this time. It's always a good time with these fellas. Any quick shout-outs, any plugs? Curly, anything you want to throw out there real fast?
Well, as I tweeted on Twitter earlier today, that's redundant. Shout out to FlyQuest and Drek for this beautiful sweater. Oh
Yes.
my god.
Looking
Very
forward to
comfy. Cardi B, very cute, very wholesome. I love it a lot. So yeah, Drek, like I appreciate him. And then also another shout out to Drek is he provided me the sticker graphics for the video that we released last week. It really this man, actually, I want to tell you guys, when I first asked him for the graphics, I didn't put the word graphics. I was like, hey, can I get the stickers for the entire Academy team? And I'm making a video, and he's like, when's this going to release? I was like, oh, probably next week. He's like, oh, I don't think they'll get there in time. I was like, oh, no, not the actual stickers. This man was ready to just send me all 5 Academy stickers. Like, just straight up in the mail. So shout out to Drek for being the best community manager out there. I like hands down. Yeah, that's my shout out.
Lovely. Knox, if you want to shout out your TFT tournament one more time, now's your chance. Or anything else you want to say.
Yeah, TFT tournament. Me. Shout out me. Me. No, just kidding. Honestly, just shout out to the 100 Talk Pod guys. You're going to have a great night tonight, repping over the win over EG. That was a hell of a series. Shout out to you two, being awesome as always. I'm jealous of Curly over here with the new, the Get Up, the USPS Postal Service over here taking its sweet time getting to Texas, apparently.
Yeah. East Coast is having a time and a half right now, so.
I think mine came from Kentucky.
Oh. All right, there you go.
Okay. Outside of that, good luck on Pick'ems this weekend, guys. Please come join the Discord. Something I enjoy. Like, I'm literally at work most of the day, and it's nice coming into our own Discord and seeing discussions happening without us now.
Yes.
Like, I tuned in and there was people talking, and I was like, oh my god, I love it.
It is a good, it is a good feeling. For myself, I don't really have any shout-outs. I'm trying to think. It's fantasy football season. I'm in 4 leagues somehow again. Maybe a 5th coming up real soon. So if you want to talk fantasy football, hit me up. I've got a lot of drafts coming up, so I have a lot of opinions on who your number 1 RB pick should be if you're up there on the draft boards. But other than that, this has been Flight Check Season 1, Episode 22. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you all very, very soon. See you later.
Later, guys.
Peace, y'all.